This is the Washington Times front page for Wednesday, May 26th, 2021. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. A growing number of states say they'll use federal funds to offer back-to-work bonuses for employees who return to the workforce. David Trafinski reports Arizona, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Montana are among the states that have announced programs to that end in recent weeks. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey's office said his newly announced program, which provides $2,000 bonuses for eligible people who complete 10 weeks of work after leaving unemployment, has been well received across the state. Montana Governor Greg Gianforte has similar plans. The governor plans to use $15 million from his state's share of the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package to provide $1,200 bonuses to people who were on unemployment and then completed at least 4 weeks of paid work. In the Middle East, Palestinians are finding themselves in a familiar position, divided about what comes next and how to get there after an 11-day war and now ceasefire with Israel. Some say they want a clean slate, elevating a new generation of political leaders who can chart a surer path toward statehood and economic revival. But others say the militant Hamas movement, which rejects Israel's existence and is considered a terrorist organization by the United States, are the only ones fighting for their rights. Analysts and those on the ground say the recent fighting has only served to shore up support for Hamas, repeating a familiar pattern from past Israeli-Palestinian clashes. On Capitol Hill, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has been condemned by House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and others over her rhetoric comparing mask-wearing and vaccines to the gold star that Jewish people were forced to wear under the Nazi regime. Tom Howe reports McCarthy, in a statement condemning the language, said that the fact that this needs to be stated is deeply troubling. Jewish groups and other lawmakers condemn Greene for comparing measures designed to mitigate a pandemic to those used by Nazis, saying it demeaned victims of the Holocaust. Illinois Democratic Congressman Brad Schneider said he'll challenge GOP leaders to join a censure resolution he's drafting in the wake of Greene's comments. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George and get 25% off your annual subscription. Staying on Capitol Hill, Oklahoma Senator Jim Inhofe has joined a growing list of Republican lawmakers who say they're concerned about an increasingly politicized environment at the Department of Defense. Military reporter Mike Glenn reports the push comes following the dismissal of Matthew Lohmeyer, a Space Force lieutenant colonel, earlier this month after he wrote a book criticizing race and diversity programs in the military. The dismissal is being looked into by the Air Force Inspector General. Inhofe said he'll continue looking into ways for Congress to ensure that service members will have the same free speech rights as all Americans, regardless of ideology. And finally, Valerie Richardson talks with Robert Woodson, editor of a new book that's a collection of essays by prominent black leaders and scholars, and provides what he says is pushback against race grievance. The book recently hit number 1 in the social science and African American studies categories on Amazon shortly after its debut on May 18th. Woodson believes that's due to a yearning for a counter-narrative that celebrates America's founding. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and subscribe for free to the front page. Just search Washington Times on your favorite podcast platforms. You can also listen to the front page on Amazon Alexa connected devices. Just say, Alexa, play the front page podcast. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.